What's up, my beautiful people out there today, man? What's going on with it, man? Oh man, yo, man. Your boy Ari Wasserman he had some comments to say about Dion. So this is like my one of my first reaction videos. So bear with me, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I gotta do a reaction to this, you know what I'm saying? So I don't get copyright striked or whatever, because I'm about to play some videos on this or whatever. So the case may be. So there was just some things. All right, so I'm gonna share this tab. Let me get the tab pulled up here. Bear with me here, people. Bear with me. Please don't. Y'all know the show tomorrow, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Y'all know how me and Shad and everybody else give it up to the gang and all that. Let me get this pulled up here though. Okay, it was in my Twitter. Twitter, you know, Twitter is fun, yo. It's just you probably could do a whole live or so for your Twitter feed, probably. Like, no joke, though. So you know, as you can see here, I posted. I said, truth he speaks, but they will call him a hater or they will call him negative. Now, it's just my opinion on the whole situation. I saw, you know what I'm saying? Like, some of the things
are not there. But the reason why Deion Sanders is so famous is because he's a showman. And I think people forget this. When he was playing football, he would dance and on the way into the end zone. And it was awesome. He's a showman in press conferences.
Facts. That's truth. Like, have you seen him at Jackson State or his conference or his press conferences at Jackson State University, then you probably would agree he knows how to handle the media, correct? He's a great salesman at doing that. Dion knows exactly what to tell the media, when not to tell the media. He knows how to play the media. He's great at that. He's a showman. Is he not? I mean, he is a showman, right? He is. He put on a dress and went on the show and did a song. He's a showman. Let's just call it what it is. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, with all due respect, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's a showman. So you know what I mean? It's just a fact, y'all. And I'm gonna play the rest and I'll commentate through the whole joint or whatever.
He has an explanation for everything. He is very funny. I find him to be engaging. I like listening to what he has to say, but don't let the dancing and the singing and the trickery distract you from the fact that this is a results-oriented business. And the results for building a college...
It is. It is. Hey, yo, look, my man, he just said it. Like, college football and football in general, you got to get wins, right? And I know a lot of people in Boulder area are like, we were 1-11 and then we went 4-8. Like, it's still results. Like, still was 4-8. Like, that's, you know what I mean? It's an improvement. Yeah, correct. It's an improvement, but it's still ass. Like, there's other teams out there that was 1-11 that didn't gut their whole roster and still had winning records, such as USF. We probably won't throw USF in there because they're like in the, with the American Athletic Conference or whatever, the AAC. But you can argue that Seth Hegan for the Memphis Tigers is probably one of the best passers of the ball in all of college football down there. But also that Northwestern coach, I think his name was Brian Baum. They was 1-11 the year before in the Big Ten, and then they ended 7-5, and they beat a Utah team. Now I don't care who didn't show up for the Utah team. That's besides the point. They still beat Utah. You can't hold that against Northwestern, that Utah decided to leave this person out of the game, that person out of the game. At the end of the day, Northwestern students and Northwestern football team still gets to say, we beat Utah, period. That's just the way it is, right? So really, they ended their season at 8-5 when you talk about Northwestern and them. And he went on, and if you want me to play the whole thing, I'm sure you can just go to Twitter, either my Twitter page or it's on there, and watch the whole thing. I really don't want to sit here and talk about the whole thing about what this guy Ari Wasserman said, but he pretty much said, I think a lot of people took in the contest when at the end he was like, he's watching the failure in his eyes or whatever. Matter of fact, I'm gonna just play the rest of it. Let it play out.
Football program that can compete at a high level are not there. Deion Sanders his qualifications for being a college football coach at all is stardom and ability to recruit. And he is not doing it. Okay, you can say, okay, portal. That's fine. He's done an okay job in the portal. I think Colorado was much better last year, even though the record didn't show it, than I thought they were going to be. I'm going to give him credit. But this is all the results of half-assed work. Imagine if he actually embraced this and did it completely and fully, how good he actually could be. And that's why I get frustrated.
No,
I
the
don't think he
only
sucks.
argument
I
I
don't think
got
he
on
can't.
him with this is we don't even know if Coach Prime is able to travel with all like with his foot, the blood clots and everything that he all the surgeries and everything that he went through and that he had to go through. We don't really know if he's able to travel or what to recruit, but a lot of people say that that's still part of recruiting. Now, you can also argue that the new way to do it is all through the internet. Kids like that anyway, but then you say his star power, his stardom, his showmanship is why he's getting recognized, correct? That's what draws the kids to him. So you can't have it both ways and say it's not that, and it is. That's exactly what it is. He is the draw to Boulder. Other than that, nobody's really going up there. But he also said that look, he give it credit. He gave the team credit that they should have won a lot of games. Then they lost some games they shouldn't have last year. He said that pretty much. He didn't say that verbatim, but that's what he said. You know, it's just get crazy over there with the whole, what I mean, with the fan base and whatever else. Now I know like some of y'all out there may be diehard Buff fans. I'm a diehard Stiller fan. But logic is logic. And the fact of the matter is, if like y'all can sit here argue and say, oh well, a lot of y'all just follow Coach Prime over from Jackson State. Like a lot of y'all never watched Jackson State. Y'all didn't even know who Jackson State University was. If it wasn't for Coach Prime, y'all probably would have never known. So let's call it what it is. Let's call a spade, right? So when you go looking at the way that he ran Jackson State University, you see a lot of the similarities of what he's doing up at Boulder. Period. Point blank. It's his blueprint. That's just the way he rock out. You know what I mean? He just don't have to put money back into the facilities like how he did down at Jackson State because Boulder has those amenities available to the college athletes. Okay. And yes, man, like but I don't think he said nothing wrong. He's telling him how he feel, but I believe there's some truth in that. Like there's some truth in that. And a lot of other people will probably say there's just not a lot of people that come out and say that. And then you want to say because anything that anybody has to say that is not agreeing with every little thing or giving people propaganda about Colorado Buffaloes, they're haters. They're haters. But anybody like him can be criticized. You talking about or anybody talking about Ari Wasserman and criticizing him and saying what he shouldn't be doing and people listening to him, that's hating. Clearly that's hating. Clearly, because the man's working all the time behind the mic, whatever you want to say, doing a podcast, you saying what he shouldn't be doing and what he should be doing. That's hating. Like, you know what I'm saying? But we all do it. We all do it. And the wise man once said to me, if it wasn't for haters, would you be you? I guess not. So I guess that I'm a hater too. Like, I mean, come on. Like, if it wasn't for peacocking for women, like, you know what I'm saying? Some dudes, you're going to throw in a nice outfit. Some dudes going to say, you got too many colors on. They're going to hate. But hey, look, it don't matter because you didn't wear it to impress a guy. You wore it to impress a girl that you wanted to go meet up at a bar or that you taking on a date or something. You know what I mean? Like, so to each his own with that kind of stuff. And he didn't say nothing that was way far fetched about it. Like you can't be happy. I've been a Steeler fan since I could remember. 7 6 7 years old. I'm not gonna be happy if my team go 4-8. I don't care about that. I do not care about that. We won 3 more games than we did last year. You could argue and say they could have won some more, but it just didn't happen. It didn't happen for whatever reason's going on. There's a lot of things that's going on with Colorado that we not going to hear about until, the latter years or till Colorado is over and done with. But I got a whole segment that I'm gonna work on that I was working on too tomorrow to talk about some of this stuff too, the comments and other things. But There's some things that's going to come out. Like, there's been rumblings about why Sean Lewis left and what was going on with Sean Lewis and all that other kind of stuff that the Colorado Buffaloes fans do not want to hear. But it's just it is what it is. So what you gonna say? A coach is lying about your quarterback and the way that he handles things and the way he goes about things and everything else. And everybody is entitled to their opinion and about how they feel. Now, do they have the blueprint for the media and how to promote themselves? Absolutely, they do. Absolutely. But this is part of it, is it not? Is it? This is part of the media and him wanting the media attention that he wants, no matter how it's being brought to him. This is part of it. So you can't be super popular and expect everybody to love you. You can't do that. It's just not never gonna happen. But here, I don't see nothing wrong with what Ari said, man. I don't see nothing wrong with the guy said, man. The guy spoke, he spoke his truth. I agreed with him because you should probably be going to go visit some of these kids and homes. If he did get up and Coach Prime did pop up in your living room, imagine how many more students would go to Boulder, Colorado and play for Dion. But do you really think that he's going to be there? Some people might not say that he might not be there. And I have a valid reason to saying that of why I think he may not be there is because the way he was talking just recently about how Shador ain't going up here and playing in this cold and he ain't playing for this team or playing for that team. He wants to control the environment that his son's going to in the NFL, which is crazy to me. Like, I mean, I understand he wants him to be in the best situation and you're using your star power for everything, but I'm going to talk about that more in tomorrow's show. I just wanted to come on for a special live to get up out here because anybody who decided to jump down in my comments or decided to troll me, you can do so live or, you know what I'm saying, and drop your opinion in the comments rather. And then that way, y'all know that Trek and Chubby don't be out here hiding behind comments or a keyboard. Like I'm really out here. So um just to have that clear and that clarity to that situation. But no, it's everything's not peaches and cream up there. And a lot of it's gonna come out once he leaves there and everything else is going on up there. Just like how they did Matt McChesney, like it went over everybody's head, right? Yeah, I'm gonna drop all that tomorrow. But that was self-reported, correct? A lot of that stuff that they went through in the NCAA violations was self-reported, meaning that they reported on themselves. That no third party reported on Colorado. Colorado reported that themselves that Matt McChesney and his son did that, all that other stuff, and you know what I'm saying. So yeah, right, right. So that look, it is the each its own, man. There's a lot of stuff that's going on behind the scenes, and you can say what you want to say, but the proof is in the pudding. And I hope that he has a good season. Hope he put up the good numbers that he needs to put up. We're going to see it if how he does that, and if he does. And also, I want to address one more thing before I get on up out of here because I wasn't going to be on here long today. There was another comment that was put up on my I'm gonna check it right here. When I commented underneath that, he said the truth is, it seems like Mr. Maurice seems like yours as well. No problem, however, but him being disappointed in the way Coach Prime approaches college football, whether he'll be here in 2 years, and this being a failure is all his opinion, not facts. The fear of change is wild. Like, I mean, the thing is like you see, people just take what they want to say out of each and every little thing and try to attack on it. That's what people do. He didn't ask me what I meant by that. He just jumped in on it, but I don't care about none of that. Whatever. Um, Bobby, he says you're comparing that cupcake schedule to what Dion and CU faced in his first year. Yeah, okay, not even close. CU was blown out twice. All of the other games they lost was a one possession game. And I was talking about Northwestern's coach, Brian Baum. They went 1-11 and then they turned around in 75, like how I mentioned at the beginning of the video, the live. And just for everybody out there, I did pull up their schedule and I'm going to share the tab of their schedule, Northwestern schedule. So starting last year, 2023, September 3rd, they started off playing Rutgers. They lost to Rutgers. They beat UTEP, which they should have won that game. But you want to talk about beating UTEP, then y'all go get an offensive lineman from UTEP. So I don't want to hear none of that about them being sorry, okay? Because I went and got a lineman from that sorry team. This is what I'm talking about. Can't have it both ways. But they'll argue that, oh, he was the best thing on the team. No, but he's come from a trash team that got beat by a trash Northwestern. Okay. But anyhow, Northwestern lost to Duke. I thought Duke was really good early on in the season. I thought Duke should have played a lot better. Their football team is moving in the right direction. They lost to their team. They beat a good Minnesota team. Minnesota is a good football team. Believe it or not, they're in the Big Ten. All them Big Ten teams, they're nails to the wall. Penn State pulled away from them in the second half of the game. In the first quarter, I believe they played them tough, but Penn State is a very good football team. They do very good recruiting. All right, they beat Howard by 3, but Howard is a good team. Who knows? Who knows what would have happened? Who knows what would have happened in that? Coach Pram lost his 2 championships in the HBCU too. He didn't win neither one of them. Just by the way, I want to say that. But I ain't arguing about that point. But anyhow, Northwestern, they lost to Nebraska. So you beat Nebraska last year, but Nebraska was a decent team as time went on. They beat a good Maryland team. Tua's little brother played quarterback. They beat a good, or they were good. 33-27 at that. They lost by the undefeated. Like they only lost one game, I think, a couple of games. Iowa. They went to the Big Ten championship last year against Michigan. All right. And they lost to them by 3. They beat a good, decent Wisconsin team. They beat Purdue. They beat Illinois. I don't think that's a cupcake schedule. And then they finished off beating Utah. I wouldn't say none of the teams. I would never like I say that the Big Ten was sorry last year. I said that a bunch of times. There was a lot of sorry teams in the Big Ten, but until you go play the Big Ten teams, you can say that, but they're all tough. They're all tough. And I don't know how Colorado would have fared, but you can say that the Pac-12 was as tough as it's ever been, and as it's ever been. And I heard that from a professional one, Joe Klatt. Joe Klatt, that's where I heard that from. If y'all want to verify that, Joe Klatt said the Pac-12 last year was as tough as it's ever been in his lifetime. In his lifetime, period. So that's just a 1 year. And you can argue a lot of these games were decided by that. You know what I mean? So I don't know. They each his own. They have it both ways, however that goes. But I believe that Brian Baum flipped that team around. They didn't. They don't have a lot of movement in the portal. And that's what they were talking about. And that's all I was saying is that Northwestern does not have a lot of movement in the portal. He kept the team that went 1-11, brought those guys back, gave them a new attitude, worked them out, put them in the right spots, and wind up having a 7-5 football team from a 1-11 football team. Had he kept a lot of them offensive linemen from the 1-11 team, I think that they would have played a lot better. But last year's last year. We moving on to this year. But I just wanted to bring that up, man, and say that and say those things about it or whatever. But I gave people out there a chance, man. Make sure that y'all catch the live tomorrow, man, at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's 5:30 for the Central people, 4:30 for the Mountain people, 3:30 p.m. for the Pacific people, man. I'm up out of here. Gave y'all a chance to say what y'all needed to say. I know I'm really out here. Peace. I'll see y'all tomorrow, man. You dig?
Wanna see Truck and Chubby live and co-host Shed? Tune in at Fans Point of View, Saturday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 3:30 p.m. Pacific Time. But in the meantime, in between time, enjoy the content. Don't forget to hit your notification bell for all updates.